'Tis the season for holiday travel, which is just 3 short weeks away. Families are getting ready to travel, but for those who are traveling by plane, have guidelines to follow here. Here to help us get ready for holiday travel is Greg Humble from Humble Travel Service in Cedar Falls. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Yeah, thanks, Alyssa.
So just to get started, there's a few guidelines that we have to follow when we're traveling by plane. What are those guidelines?
Okay, so first of all, the basics, of course, with traveling, with your carry-on bag, you do have to have like your liquids, lotions, things like that in like a little Ziploc bag. And so just make sure that everything fits in that, whether it's like, say, some, ladies' items, or it could be toothpaste, whatever. So, but, and of course, you can usually just, put that outside the bag on the outside zipper, so you can pull that out easy when you're traveling. And then the other thing, too, with the holidays to consider is when you do maybe take gifts with you, leave them unwrapped when you're in your carry-on bag, because TSA could possibly open up those bags and make you unwrap the package too. So kind of keep that in mind when you're traveling. The other thing too, packing cubes, you can use those. These happen to be e-bags, and you can probably get these directly from e-bags. And but it's nice to put like shoes. It could be like sweaters, whatever. You can pack those, whether it's your carry-on bag or it could be your checked bag. And the big thing with like your carry-on bag too is like you don't want to have it more than 22 inches in length. That's important. Otherwise it won't fit in the overhead compartment on the airlines.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other thing is in regards to taking gifts that are wrapped with you, of course you can put those in your checked bag. That checked bag though is actually going to cost you probably $25 to check with the airlines. Most would probably charge $25. And then so you can just wrap them, simply like that. And of course, maybe take that extra roll of wrapping paper with you to wrap the other ones that aren't wrapped. So, and then of course the e-bags you could take with you in your checked bag, or your checked bag, and of course your shoes, everything like that. And I know my wife and I use these all the time when we travel, e-bags. So they're a very handy tool. And of course, packing your carry-on bag, if you happen to have a liquid, maybe that's a big liquid bottle, more than 3 ounces, then you could wrap it in some of your clothing possibly to pad it so that it didn't get broken. And of course the other thing I do sometimes too is I'll put it in maybe a plastic bag, maybe in a large Ziploc bag in case it would break. Then it's not going to get all over everything else.
Right.
Okay.
So security is going to be in full force this Christmas season.
That's right.
So how can we avoid holding up those lines?
Well, the big thing is, like I kind of said earlier, is one thing, have that Ziploc bag with your liquids in it, in your carry-on bag, handy to pull out real quick, so when you're going through the security line. Also, I would be prepared with, like, say, metal objects and things that are on your person. Make sure you get those out of there and put them in, say, your carry-on bag before you actually scan it, and you're not going to hold up the line that way, too.
All right, perfect. Anything else you'd suggest for us travelers?
I would say just be aware of your bags. When you're in the airport too, of course, make sure you know that your bag's with you and you don't leave it somewhere that someone could put something in it. So just be careful about things like that when you're in a large area in an airport.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah.
We know a lot now for traveling for this holiday season, so hopefully we stay safe and have a great time.